So this session today is about Azure-OpenAI and Power Virtual Agents. I think there's been, and I want to do something a bit different today. So I think there's a lot of hype in the OpenAI space, and I think a lot of it would just, a lot of the stuff being developed would just not be that useful when we fast forward 12 months down the line. And so what I want to do today is really encourage you to think about or help to inspire you to think about a problem to solve and how you can solve that using Azure OpenAI and Power Virtual Agents. I think a lot of people are going in and building some cool stuff, but 6 months, 12 months down the line, it just won't be that useful. So I'm actually going to give you an example of the result of an internal hackathon we did at my company, which is VastMindz, where we actually thought about a specific problem, a niche problem, and how we can map that to a solution in Azure OpenAI using Power Virtual Agents to deliver something of value to customers. So I think a lot of people are focusing on solution. What I want to do is just inspire you to focus on the problems or challenges that you could or specific problems and challenges that you could potentially solve, because in my opinion, that will 10x your ability above everyone else. But just to give you some background, I think I should probably introduce myself first. So if you don't know me, my name is Nick. I have been an AI engineer for more years than I can count. I started off working in financial services, where my role was as an algorithmic trader for investment banks like Nomura and Cowen and Company and Credit Suisse. I was part of the original team at Nomura that were deploying machine learning algorithms for hedge fund clients, up to the tune of close to $4 billion a day that were running through our algorithms. I then founded a company called VastMindz, which is a healthcare technology business in 2019. And that is primarily focused on delivering physiological insights about a human by analyzing a video of their face. And so we have customers such as insurance companies, virtual health platforms, and telehealth providers. And I've also been playing with GPT technology and their APIs for a number of years. I also do compete in their global hackathons that they run unofficially. I competed in 3. I was the winner in November 2022. Haven't had time, unfortunately, to compete in another hackathon, but I definitely will get a chance to do that again. So again, coming back to the point of this talk, I'm going to show you an example of how we built a product that has value to potential customers just by understanding the problem space that we're going after here first. And let me share my screen. And so the whole point of this is to help you not just go out and start building something cool with OpenAI, but actually think of a specific, really niche problem that you could solve using PVAs, Power Automate, and OpenAI. I think that trio is such a powerful combination. I don't think many people realize that yet. And obviously, as individuals who are much more familiar with Microsoft technology, I think you are a step ahead of the competition. So this is a product. The name is called Chat MSP because we couldn't think of a better name to name this product. But essentially, what we did is we thought about a specific problem that a specific market is having, and this market was managed service providers, or also known as MSPs. If you don't know what an MSP is like a business that you would outsource your IT support to. So an MSP would manage would let's say be you could have, for example, BMW coming along to say, I don't want to have my internal IT support desk. I need this outsourced to someone, to an organization that is a professional organization. They keep up with the latest trends and key insights about how to conduct the best IT support. I don't want to have to manage that insight, so I will hire an MSP to do that. So that is what MSPs are. MSPs, there are thousands of them across the globe. It's not a huge market. It's actually pretty niche. They exist to help businesses run without the headache of IT support. It's not a typically exciting business, but it's necessary, right? I would say this would be in the class of boring SaaS businesses, but sometimes they are killer businesses. So there's a couple of, so the first thing we want to do, right? Like, and I fall into myself and my other engineers, we fall into this trap a lot where we go in and we start building cool stuff. I would say the first step to do is if you think of a business or a market, a niche market that has a specific problem, try and document 4 challenges that they may face. So what we did here is we spoke to 5 MSPs, right? 5, that is enough. And we documented some challenges. And what we learned was pretty interesting. So again, I'm not thinking about using an OpenAI API right now. I'm just thinking about what are the challenges that this market faces. So we found something pretty interesting. The first was what we like to call documentation delays. So if I'm an MSP, and I'm a analyst, I'm a support desk analyst at an MSP. If I get an incoming query from a client, a lot of my time is spent trailing through online documentation that is held in SharePoint or OneDrive to try and find the right information that could help me with a specific query. So it might be, for example, let's come up with an example. A customer ticket would contain information about a specific printer not working. I mean, I'm thinking of just a silly example here. And what support desk analysts do today is they have to think about, okay, I need to go to the file which tells me how to deal with printer issues, and I need to find the printer that they are referencing, and I need to find exactly what are the steps I have to do to resolve this. So you can imagine for every incoming ticket, that could be quite a boring and laborious process. So the first one is what we call documentation delays. It just takes a long time to trail through documentation. The second one is information overload. So typically support desk staff, right? And I think everyone here has probably experienced this. You are probably, whether you consciously are doing this or not, you expect the support desk recipient to remember too much information. And as humans, we simply can't remember too much information. And what I mean by this is if you raise a query, you expect an answer pretty immediately. Now, for that to happen, that person on the other side of your query would have to remember a lot of information to be able to do that, right? And so this can cause delays in resolution times, which can lead to dissatisfaction. The third one is well, MSPs as a business, they exist to serve clients who need to outsource their IT support desks. The issue is every time they onboard a new client, they would need to hire 2 or 3 more staff to support that client. And that makes sense. You have more query volumes, you need more support desk analysts to serve those clients. And that's okay, but when we're in 2023 now, just past Q1, it looks like we're still heading towards a bit of a recession. Businesses are tight on cash, so what you have now is a scalability problem. And so this is another challenge. And you know, the fourth one, everything comes back to this fourth challenge here was, as an MSP, how do I increase my profitability? So they always need to find ways to serve more clients without a proportional increase in cost. So how can I serve 2 times the amount of clients without a 2x increase in my cost? You know, a great solution to this is serve 2x more clients with maybe a 0.20% increase in cost, not a 2x increase in cost. So those were the 4 main challenges, and I would just encourage everyone to go through this exercise with any market or any problem that they want to solve. It's really it is really, and I'll show you how we've now mapped these problems to a solution using PVA, Power Automate, and OpenAI. So what we did is we took those problems and we thought, okay, well, we can actually solve all of those problems using an intelligent agent that is able to scour through a deep knowledge base. That's the first key thing. Scour through a deep knowledge base to understand how to best resolve incoming tickets. And you know, some knowledge bases include things such as SharePoint, which is just OneDrive. You have also MSPs, we learned, use a specific type of documentation called IT Glue, and also Hoodoo. And what we also learn is that they manage tickets through what's called IT service management solutions. And these can include things such as ServiceNow, ConnectWise, and Autotask. So what do I mean by an ITSM solution? It is just a support. It's just a support portal for service desk analysts to use when they're handling multiple tickets. That is it. That is all they are designed to do. So you have an incoming query come in, a ITSM solution would assign it a ticket ID, and you can respond and add notes to that ticket ID right in this portal. So it's just a portal. That's how I would want you to think about this. And okay, so this is an intelligent support agent. It's able to gather, amalgamate all of these different pieces of information. So documentation about how to deal with clients. It's able to look at existing tickets in a ticket ITSM solution. It's able to look at the web, because you know GPT still has the ability to understand information up to September 2021. You know, just in the World Wide Web. And so it's able to amalgamate all of this information into what we call now Chat MSP, which is kind of looking like this purple brain here. And that purple brain is able to do a lot of stuff. And so what happens now is the new workflow for MSPs or managed service providers is the following. So we have an incoming query. This comes from a client, which is usually very time sensitive. The first person to now get it is not a human. The first person to get it is, or the first person to analyze this would be Chat MSP. And it's able to integrate with all of those sources of information to come up with an answer about a specific query. And then the first line service desk, because typically when you have a service desk, you have first line engineers, second line, and third line. The first line engineer can take that response from the engine and respond to the client, and that response can be, you know, fine-tuned with a bit of clever prompt engineering to actually come up with a way that first line engineers can respond without having to search through mountains of documentation or mountains of existing tickets. You know, one thing they do a lot is if you have an incoming query about a specific problem, they will spend time going through their ticket portal database to find out, okay, was there any other similar queries that I have experienced or that my team has experienced in the past to help resolve this? If so, how can I look at it and get some, you know, clarity on how to resolve this? So the whole point is this is now a seamless workflow where you could get an incoming query you can go from incoming query to resolution in a pretty seamless workflow. That is an absolute game changer for support desks. I guess the next iteration is where the first line engineer is just a intelligent agent. So you would only have, I guess, second and third line engineers at that point. But in essence, this is a seamless workflow that any managed service provider can use.